The sky above Valoria was ablaze with the color of fire. Across the endless horizon, great arcs of crimson and gold stretched out from the setting sun, as if the heavens themselves were in mourning. Below, the land was in turmoil. The kingdom of Valoria had once been a land of peace, where magic flowed through the rivers, and the skies were free of war. The high towers of the capital city, Erelon, stood as beacons of knowledge and prosperity, and the people of the kingdom lived in harmony with the creatures of legend, giants, griffins, and dragons alike. But peace was a fleeting dream, and now, that dream had shattered. The Great War had begun. As the first dragon cried into the skies, the fires of battle ignited. Across the valley, the great war machines of the Ironclaw Empire, massive, steam-powered mechanical beasts tore through the forest, their iron-clad limbs crushing trees like matchsticks. On their backs rode the soldiers of the Empire, their dark armor gleaming with malice. The dragon that had signaled the war was no ordinary beast. It was Archazel, the Titan dragon, a creature born from the ashes of a forgotten god. With scales the color of molten lava and eyes that glowed like twin suns, Archazel was the harbinger of destruction. And yet, beneath that fiery exterior, there was a soul weighed with sorrow and betrayal. But Archazel was not alone. A figure clad in silver armor stood upon the dragon's back, her sword raised high as she urged the beast onward. Lady Silvara Valorin, the last heir to the Valorin dynasty, led the charge. Her golden hair caught the wind like a banner, and her piercing blue eyes burned with resolve. She was both loved and feared by her people, a symbol of hope and vengeance. Behind her, the armies of Valoria rallied, warriors clad in shimmering plate armor, archers with quivers full of enchanted arrows, and mages whose spells filled the air with the crackling energy of the arcane. They moved as one, united by a common cause, to defend their land from the iron-fisted rule of the Ironclaw Empire. "Charge!" Silvara's voice rang out, sharp and clear. Her blade, the legendary sword Erindel, shimmered with an ethereal glow as she guided Archazel down into the fray. The clash of steel on steel echoed through the valley, as Valoria's forces met the Empire's mechanical beasts in a cataclysmic collision. The ground shook beneath their feet as war machines fired blasts of black smoke and fiery blasts, while the soldiers of Valoria countered with magic, arrows, and sheer courage. In the midst of this chaos, a giant emerged from the forest. Bellowing a challenge, the creature, known as Goran, charged forward. His massive fists smashed into the machines, sending them toppling like toys. Goran was a creature of legend, a protector of the land, bound by an ancient oath to defend Valoria. His roar shook the heavens as he plowed through the battlefield, his strength a force of nature. But the Empire was relentless. From above, the griffins of the Ironclaw Empire descended, their riders armed with vicious blades and enchanted spears. The air was filled with the sound of their wings, their sharp claws raking through the skies. A battle between creatures of the sky ensued, and the once peaceful heavens turned into a brutal arena. Silvera's heart raced as she guided Archazel through the battlefield, her every instinct focused on the fight ahead. She could feel the weight of her destiny pressing down upon her. Her father, King Valim, had fallen in the early days of the war, betrayed by one of his most trusted allies, Lord Roderick of the Ironclaw Empire. Now, Silvera fought not only for her kingdom, but for vengeance, and for the love of her people. Her thoughts were interrupted as a massive explosion rocked the battlefield. The ground cracked open as a mechanical behemoth, an iron titan, emerged from the depths of the earth. Towering above the fighters, the titan's massive cannons fired, sending plumes of fire and smoke into the air. The ground trembled beneath its enormous feet, and its massive metal hands swept through the ranks of Valoria's soldiers like a scythe through wheat. From the shadows another figure appeared. A tall man, cloaked in midnight blue, with eyes that shimmered like stars, emerged from the woods. His face was pale, his lips curled in a cold smile. He was none other than Prince Darius, once a friend to Silvera, now her enemy. He had betrayed her, his heart twisted by promises of power made by the Ironclaw Empire. But as the battle raged on, a new force arrived. From the clouds above, a group of dragons descended, creatures of incredible power, each one a master of its element. The leader of this new alliance was none other than Azrakal, the silver dragon, known for his wisdom and unmatched strength. Silvera's heart swelled with hope as she witnessed the dragon's intervention, but there was no time to rest. Darius was still out there, and he would stop at nothing to claim victory. As she rallied her forces, Silvera knew that this was just the beginning of a long and brutal conflict. The war would take everything from her kingdom, her allies, and perhaps even her very soul. But she would fight with every ounce of strength, courage, and magic at her disposal, for she knew that in the end, there could only be one victor, and the price of that victory would be paid in blood.